How is everybody doing? The Works by Queen is now 40 years old. Released on the 27th of February 1984, The Works was Queen getting back in gear after the rather um, extravagant and highly controversial Hot Space from 1982. Hot Space was Queen slipping into the dance floor a little more than they should have. Now, I personally like Hot Space. I think there's some great songs in it, and I think that Mercury's vocal is fantastic. But The Works is really it's at heart it's Queen. It's got that rock sound. It's back on track. Arguably, it's the best album of the '80s. It's certainly more concise than Hot Space. Um, if less experimental, and it's got more substance than a kind of magic from 1986, which has some great singles and stuff, but it's got some filler on it. A Miracle, I was always a bit, I guess because they didn't tour and Freddie was ill at the time. But The Works is a return to form, without a doubt, and this is the album that got me hooked on Queen, and we're going to talk about it in depth in this video. So this is where it all started for me. In late '84, Love Kills was a single from the Metropolis soundtrack, and I got hooked on that. It was a Freddie Mercury solo single, and obviously 1984 was a big year for Queen because Radio Gaga was released in January. That was a big hit. I Wanna Break Free was another big hit. It's a Hard Life, Hammer to Fall, and at the end of '84 they released Thank God It's Christmas. So 5 singles were released that year. But March 1985, I was in school and a friend of mine said, "Hey, did you hear this?" And I said, "No." And he said, "Queen album." So I took it, and it was in my Walkman for 1 week, and in that week I think I never stopped listening to it, and I wore out lots and lots of batteries. It was a cheap Academy Walkman. It was huge, and it guzzled double A cells. But this album, it was just for me, you know, Queen, the guitar, the vocal, the songs. Yeah, I remember reading every bit of it. It was, yeah, such a, a new discovery, a new band, and it sounded great. It was recorded in the record plant in Los Angeles, California, USA. I think it was the only time that Queen recorded outside, or in the USA. Yeah, they had recorded in Germany and places like that, but they were mainly at home in England recording most of their albums. So this one, was a return to form, rockier sound. Obviously the synthesizers, it's of its time. It's got technology in there as well, drum machines and stuff like that. But I think it's a great album. It's Mercury's vocal is fantastic. Around the time '83, Brian May was hanging out with Eddie Van Halen, and they recorded the Starfleet project. Good friends with Ed, and so yeah, you can hear a little bit of tapping and stuff like that as well. The styles were paying off and rubbing off on each other. But this did it for me, and I didn't want to give it back to my friend in school, so I actually swapped him a helmet for sports or something, I can't remember, and he gave me this. So yeah, it was a great swap, and it got me on the road to Queen, and I never looked back. So I collected cassettes back in '85 because I didn't have a turntable, and cassettes were handy because like I said, you could take them in the Walkman outside the house. And this is my vinyl pressing of The Works, one of my vinyl pressings, and this one is an Irish press that I actually bought in 1987 when I did have a turntable, and it's got that generic cream label, which is pretty ghastly really. And there was a pressing plant in Ireland, I think Polydor and EMI. I think they both had plants in Dublin. They pressed them. But yeah, I mean, it's, you know, the vinyl was really cool. I like the artwork and stuff like that. This photo was taken by George Hurrell as well. He was the guy who photographed Marlene Dietrich. He also did the cover of Press to Play for Paul McCartney in 1986. But I think that Queen came back with this album. They kind of made a conscious decision to write more concise songs and songs that were more pop orientated, you know, with better hooks and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, Hot Space was a letdown for the band. It was badly received. Even the fans, the core fans, were kind of going, what the hell, you know, things like Body Language are all electronic. Staying Power, again, I think those songs are, I love all of that album. But this is, you know, the rock band Queen. And, you know, I think Brian May was probably happy because there's a lot of, you know, the guitar is back to the forefront and stuff like that. Yeah, so it's a great album, you know, and like I said, probably their best album of the 80s. I also have a UK pressing here. This one has the kind of curved, the round edges, and it's got the proper matching logo, or the matching label, sorry, in there. This is a version from the Complete Works box set that was released in 1985. Just comes in an embossed sleeve with X I on it. This one is unique because I think it's Direct Metal Master, I think, as well, pressing, and it's just got this label like this. Yeah, so that's another unusual pressing, which is in the box set and stuff like that. What else have I got? I've got the Half Speed Master from 2015. That's the remastered version that some people love and some people hate. Singles that came off this album, we had Radio Gaga was the first one. That was the very first one. It has the instrumental on it, and it has I Go Crazy. This was a non-album track. It's an extended version of Gaga as well. Next off the album was I Want to Break Free. And the single version of I Want to Break Free has a fade in. And this is the extended mix. And then on the B-side, you've got Machines, Back to Humans. That's a great track as well. I love that track. Yeah, very good. And there's a kind of a hits mix as well at the end of this. The extended mix of I Want to Break Free. It's almost a way on jazz. More of that jazz goes into different songs from the album. I think they tried to repeat that trick here. A bit strange. Next we have It's a Hard Life. It's a Hard Life did not have a picture sleeve as far as I know, not for the 12-inch. It's the extended version as well, and we have the single version and Is This the World We Created? Nice little acoustic number from the end of the album. This is the picture disc of Hard Life. Great track, great Queen track. Then we had Hammer to Fall, and that's an extended version as well. The Headbangers mix and Tear It Up. There's another version of this with the live cover on it. It was withdrawn at the time, and now it's worth a fortune. And then Christmas '84, we had Thank God It's Christmas, and this one has got Thank God It's Christmas and the Man on the Prowl extended version. Keep Passing the Open Windows extended version. The Works is quite a short album. It only weighs in at about 37 minutes or something like that. It is quite short, yeah. So, yeah, there was room for other stuff, you know what I mean. I'm surprised that they didn't do a 40th anniversary, even as a double CD would have been nice. I know that they did in 2011, the remasters, or was it 2011, I think. There's a double CD version of it. But it would have been nice to have had the Works in a little, you know, double card sleeve like they did the Miracle recently, with just demos and stuff. And, you know, No live stuff, you know. They keep doing that. They keep putting out live stuff. There's no point in doing all that. So, yeah. 7-inch singles. There was Radio Gaga, and I don't have the original. I made this myself years ago. I photocopied it onto red card. This came in a generic sleeve, but I just put this on it. I must get it, actually. I'm an idiot. I should have bought that. This is I Want to Break Free. There was actually 4 different covers, but I only have 2. I've got Roger and Freddie, and you can see on the back here it tells you the ones you have. It's pretty nice. There's people out there probably with the whole lot. It's a Hard Life. This one has 2 different sleeves. You can see that one of them was airbrushed, his hair. Yeah. Hammer to Fall. I've got 2 pressings of that. I think one is Irish. It's an Irish press, and the UK press has got the black label. And the EP, Thank God It's Christmas. You just get the album versions on the B side. There's also a video, believe it or not. Yeah, this came out in 1984. I think I bought it in 87. It was reduced in the shop. 4 videos on it in stereo. So, I mean, that was very exciting at the time. Yeah, there you go. Other spin-off videos that came from around the works time. Queen live in Rio, I think January 1985. It's only about an hour long. I'm surprised they haven't really remastered it and given us more of the concert. But, you know, it's not very well edited and chopped together and stuff like that. And I think Freddie forgets some of the lyrics in some songs. But, yeah, that's it. So, these... this is an original. I think it's from 84 because there's no barcode on it. This is actually made in Japan. I think it's Pioneer or Toshiba. I can't remember. But this sounds really good. I love the sound of it. You know, it sounds fantastic. It really does. It's probably the best sounding one. You know, there's dynamics in it. You can turn it way up without any issues whatsoever. The next one is the 1994, is it? Digital Master Series. This one doesn't sound as nice. Again, they made no effort with the discs right now. That. But it doesn't sound as nice as the original. And then we have the 2011 Digital Master. Now this one sounds really, really loud and stuff like that. It kind of gets, it's actually kind of tiring to listen to, you know. It really is. Yeah, kind of grates my ears after a while. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I think the original CD sounds the best, to be honest. So what about the songs on the works? Radio Gaga, that was a big hit. I really like that. I think the vocal on it is great. It's a Linn drum, obviously. You know, the whole thing is constructed around a sequence and stuff like that, the synth bass and stuff. But you can hear John Deacon playing a fretless bass on the track as well. Brian May plays slide on the track near the end, because there's no real guitar solo on it, like as such. Like Brian May's guitar doesn't come into the forefront. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. You know what I mean? It's Roger Taylor wrote the track. It's a great. It's a big hit worldwide, and it was a great concert favorite as well until the end of the band. What's the next one on it? Tear It Up. This is kind of throwaway. You know, it's a bit of a hold down and stuff. Brian May. It's probably one of the weaker songs in the album, but I like it though, you know what I mean? But you know, it's big compressed drums and stuff and gated drums and stuff like that. You know, gated drums are in after Phil Collins nearly invented the whole thing. He used it on Peter Gabriel's album, I think, the third one, Melting Face. But In the Air Tonight, after that, you know, gated drums were a big thing in the 80s, you know. Hard Life. It's a Hard Life. It's a fantastic song. Fantastic. It's Freddie at his peak in a piano ballad. He was very good at piano ballads. Great guitar solo as well. Nice, you know, it kind of eases down in the middle. It's just it kind of soft, and then there's a big huge crescendo. Reminds me of Old Queen, you know, from the 70s. Man on the Prowl. Now this kind of rock and roll thing, rockabilly. It's almost like the twin brother of Crazy Little Thing Called Love. It is a great track. I think Fred Mandel plays piano on it, and it's a fantastic track. You know, it's a great rocker. A lot of people wouldn't really take it seriously, but you know, it would certainly give Shakin' Stevens a run for his money. Highlights here are Machines Are Back to Humans. I just love this. I love the guitar in it, the whole thing. I love the lyrics. The lyrics are quite funny. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard drive is quantized. It's hard drive is timeshare. Its sex life is quantized or something. It's very, very funny, and it's, you know, home computers were only in their infancy in 1984. So great track. Wanna Break Free. Yeah, that's a great single. Really is concise. A lot of people think it's a Freddie Mercury song. It's not. It was written by John Deacon. Very simple track, very effective, great vocal, and this album version just starts. There's no fade in. Yeah, and there's the famous, I think there's a synthesizer solo on that one. Then highlight for me, I really love Keep Passing the Open Windows. That's a fantastic Queen track. I love it. I think Fred heard Stepping Out by Joe Jackson, and then it's got that do 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 do, and he really liked that. And of course, like ding ding ding, the piano, really, really, really cool. And that Joe Jackson, another musician I am a fan of. Stepping Out is one of his best songs, and that is a nod to that. There's no way around that. Next we have Hammer to Fall. It's again Brian May. He was dying to rock after the dance floor delights of Hot Space. Not my favorite Queen song. I don't know what it is. Is the rhythm or ding da 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 da. It's a strange rhythm, you know what I mean? It's yeah, it's I don't know. It's something. The guitar solo is cut out. There's two guitar solos. The first one is cut out of the single version, but yeah, that's what you find on the Queen's Greatest Hits 2. It's cut out, but here the guitar solo gets really kind of nasally and out of phase, and it comes right into the middle of the mix, and it sounds incredible when you crank it up. It's like he's writing for, like, Brian May's guitar sound. I don't know how he did it. Like it's a fascinating, amazing sound. It would blow your mind. When I heard that when I was a teenager, amazing. And then Is This the World We Created? That's just Freddie and Brian, and it's a little bit like a nod back to Love of My Life. It's just guitar. Well, Love of My Life is actually a piano, and strings are kind of Kyoto on the Night at the Opera album, but the live version was just a 12-string ovation, guitar and Freddie singing. And Live Aid, they actually played it with a Chet Atkins Gibson as well, for those anoraks out there. But very simple song, very touching lyric, you know, in the year of Band Aid, 1984. So yeah, it is the best album of the 80s. There's no way around that. It's just that I think that Kind of Magic isn't bad, and his guitar on Kind of Magic is even, some of the guitar solos on the Kind of Magic, I think he really is at his peak on that stage. But you know, things like Don't Lose Your Head, Friends Will Be Friends, yeah, it just doesn't rock like The Works does, and that's why I think The Works is probably the best album of the 80s. So that's it. You can fill out the comments below and tell me what you think of The Works. It is now 40 years old, and it's probably, yeah, Queen did tour The Works, and 85 they did a world tour, Japan and New Zealand, Australia and stuff like that. And of course in the middle of 85 they stole the show at Live Aid and stuff like that. And then after that One Vision was released, and then A Kind of Magic came out, and that was the Magic Tour, Queen's final tour. So that's it. That's The Works by Queen, 40. And thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe and take care.